Hello everyone, welcome back to another Total Annihilation replay. Here, by request, we have a game on the Desert Triad. What we've got here is we have a 2003 game, which I have from the chat, my understanding that this is a Galactic War match, same from GBL, the Galactic Battle League, which is one of the independent gaming servers that operated much like Phoenix works, where you'd be fighting for planets with individual maps representing planets. Today, representing Core, we have Novice, and my understanding, as I've been informed by the comments, that TOS stands for Trinity of Satan. I now understand why there weren't too many people who were interested in actually joining that clan. Over here on the left, we've got Natas, or Natas. I don't exactly know how to say that, but right now, I believe this particular name he's got here doesn't have his clan tag, but Natas was a Better Than You BTU guy for the majority of the time that I was familiar with him. So that's what I'll have him set up as. So here on the Desert Triad, wind is not any good, so it's going to be solar first from both players here. Now, one of the things to know about the Desert Triad, as you can see here, we've got these really tall plateaus that are quite high up there, based on the contour lines that you can see here. And so they're protected from vehicles and flashes and that sort of thing. Now, if you've watched previous demos, you're aware that there are certain units that can climb these things. Certain things that can climb the same things that a core commander can, or a armed commander can. So, okay, and now both of them have completed their just capping with a pair of solars and the metal extractors, and they are walking down to drop their first plants. See, there's these rocks here to reclaim and plentiful metal. Now, this is a really tiny map, so they're really not too far away from each other. Now, at the time, they both be playing at lower resolutions than we're looking at right now, so it would seem bigger than it does to us. Natas starting with a K-bot facility, which is unusual. Novice taking the more common vehicle. Novice asking Natas if he's ever gone air first here, and Natas says, no, it's worthless. You can see Natas, he's pushed out a flea. This is an arm raiding scout unit. It's fast, it's quick, and it can climb. As you can see, these little buggers run up that hill. Now, out of sight of Novice's Weasel, which would be the only unit he would have to defend against it. It's got this weak little laser. It doesn't do much damage at all. But when there's nothing up here to defend, there's nothing to stop that, stop their weak little lasers from taking out things. Now, they're really cheap units, too. I want to say they cost around 45 metal. Natas misses Novice's raiding Weasel, but because the Weasel can't climb the plateau, there's really nothing for it to do over there. So, Natas has a successful raid here. He's tagging these solars, which turns them off. He's also damaging them, of course. But here comes the commander. One laser. He doesn't even need to degun. Oh, sorry, it's two lasers. And the fleas all explode. So now Natas has got that lead, but he's got a K-bot lab, which isn't going to necessarily have the build power of the vehicle lab. At least, sorry, the construction vehicles won't. He's dropping a missile tower, and this is for the Weasel that he knew that got away. Natas says, nice one. I think he's complimenting about the escaped Weasel. And the review that he's saying it was a nice one, that he got the metal extractors on top of the plateau, because he says, I think you'll have to agree. Now, Natas has pushed out a single construction con, K-bot con, And Novice has got one construction vehicle of his own. So at this point, Novice is going to have more build power, but he's going to be behind on resources as well as units because he had to walk away from his vehicle plant. And so here, Natas has pushed out a large batch of peewees. A lot of firepower, not a lot of armor. Yeah, I also like this too. Here you can see he's mixing up in more fleas, planning on climbing the hill again with them. But you can see how weak they are to missile units. You catch 2 missiles and they blow up right away. So Novice targets it immediately too because he knows that it's a threat. So he's got 4 slashers to fight off these peewees. And his commander, which is here to do battle as well. I don't know if that was the best choice by Natas over there to kind of pause things, although that may have been a little bit of lag. At the time, it's possible that both of these two were playing entirely on 56K or 28K mono. Really good job by Novice here defending that raid, and that really helps put him back in the game. For all his trouble, Natas just got basically a single slasher. Really not a worthwhile raid. Very well defended by Novice. See, Natas is trying to continue to press the advantage here. He's pushed out some Roccos. He's going to be much better at fighting a construction vehicle, but you can see Novice, using his radar, started targeting. Very common thing to do as core. You do it as arm as well. It is a principal thing that you need to learn as a core player, was how to effectively use slashers and radar target things. So we got slashers here, we got the Roccos there. Slashers have the range, the Roccos have the firepower. Their slow-moving rocket does significantly more damage. Interestingly enough here, Novice has pushed out 1, 2, 3, 4 cons to Natas's 1, 2. He's left 1 at home, or sorry, 3. And he's left 1 at home here. Now keep in mind, construction vehicles also build faster than construction K-bots. Natas is walking up top, though, to grab that plateau and keep up his metal production. Novice, though, he's got all these construction vehicles working. He's taken over his half of the map, capped it rather quickly, putting him in pretty good condition. He's also seized control of this middle here with this larger missile tower forest. Natas moving with his Roccos. This is a threat to Novice's commander. However, because this plateau is here, Novice can just kind of duck behind that for cover right there. Really nice use of comm there. I prefer to see the comm as a builder and a peacemaker, but Novice is probably planning on taking over the center control of the map using this medium-range plasma cannon, putting up a Punisher in the middle, using 4 cons to crank it out, meaning that his commander he wouldn't be able to use all his build power anyway from the commander. Quick little Peter raid, and that's nothing but a metal extractor. Again, not a particularly good use of units by Natas there. You can see he's taken his surplus metal and he's pushed it into a vehicle plant, and he's planning on flash raiding at this point. Novice is now dropping a Gat gun to defend his Punisher. He knows that it will be a D-gun target. I think this revealed a little too early, but he's got a big enough forest of missile towers. It'd be tough. Natas would have to come in from this angle here to try and get it. And that would make him vulnerable to missile tower fire for quite some time. Natas actually gets something for his trouble there, manages to bag a solar. Gets a con. But as we know, Novice has plenty of those. So at this point you can see just all the build power has really come into play here. Rocco's fighting the commander down here, but his commander's in good health. Novice dropping his own K-bot lab. He's now ready to convert some of that metal into units. Natas has got more production at this point because he's controlling the metal extractors on 2 plateaus. Looks like he's around, I think it's close to plus 20 versus Novice's 19. So not a big disadvantage one way or the other. At this point, both of them, yeah, so around 20. Both of them with about 10,000 metal produced at this point. So very even in the resource production. Natas looks like he's planning on coming in for a D-gun. He sees the sheer amount of missile fire, and he decides he's going to bail. Nano blocking as he runs. Commander's really in poor health right now. Now with Commander, who in the red, he's not able to defend. He's only got 3 flashes against about 10 slashers, or 8 slashers. Pressing with the Rockos, not a bad thing to do where the slashers are away. But there's just really just too much defense here. Natas wisely decides to withdraw there. At this point, Novice is very much in control of the map. He's denied a ton of space to Natas with that Punisher, right in the middle of the map. Now you see, if he hadn't built these missile towers first, Natas would have definitely been able to walk right up to that and D-gun. Novice has got his own storms. He's got his commander guarding here at home on his vehicle plant. See how they've built just enough energy to run their operations. Not really planning on farming solars. Novice defending with the storms. While at the same time pressing against Natas' northern production. See how Novice has got all his production units centralized. Natas is split in half, allowing Novice to kind of pick and choose the point of battle. Natas in rough health as he flees. And at this point, the game is securely in Novice's hand. Using the slashers, he takes down the factory. So despite the somewhat even production, really what helped Novice here was he was just much better with his defense and his control of his units. It allowed him to come out on top. And then he just translated that lead into build power and put it away. What's Natas doing, you might be wondering here? He is building a Atlas. Now, since this is a GBL game, Galactic War Match, the wins and losses are automatically reported. Meaning that if Natas secures a draw here by way of a comm bomb and manages to take out Novice's commander, both screens will read defeat and it will go in as a draw. So it will protect his GBL record. Such is the way the matchmaking system works. This is a no-rules game. So while this would be considered a little bit dirty, you know, you got to be ready for it. So you can see how he's flying it off screen on the top side. Novice is smart though. He has moved his commander south, seeing that Natas had gotten air. The only reason why he'd be wanting to do that, Novice knows that he intends to comm bomb. And so here in the top corner of the map, we have a floating comm while Novice runs amok through Natas' base. Kind of see what this looks like for Natas right here. You see the shadow of it hovering over there. And here he goes, he's flying on screen. The scout was unable to find the comm, he's just going to guess that it's in that area. Single missile tower, 1-2 shot, down it goes. Victory for Novice. So there you go, guys. That's the Desert Triad. I know that was requested in the comments. I'm afraid I don't remember exactly who it was. Otherwise, I do my shout out, but I don't have that up right now. Forgive me. Forgive me, map requestor. So you can see we've got the resources here. Notice right here it kills the losses, and that is just the better use of units that came in here. Now I know some of that's just padding from Novice overrunning Natas in the end and getting to shoot at things that can't shoot back. But you can see how the Pee-wee rush in the beginning really wasn't effective, and the Rockos that came in early too. Novice just was able to defend against really, really, really well. Natas had perhaps if he had picked a alternate route for his fleets to go in, cut down and gone on the south side of the plateau, he might have gotten a little bit better result. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Make sure you share it around if you know other people who enjoy Total Annihilation, or even if they're not Total Annihilation players, they enjoy some real-time strategy content. Let them know. Make sure they subscribe and hit that like button as well. Let me know if there's maps that you'd like to see or particular players that you're interested in taking a look at, and I'll go ahead and try and get those up for you too. All right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.